Welcome back, everybody, to a new daily profit update. Today is March 27, and I'm talking to you directly from my new living room, whatever, right? So, what's up? Hopefully, you're good. I know these are kind of quote unquote boring times, so you might be enjoying with your family, putting the hours more at work, or maybe like me, just continuing to hound the market, even though I did step a little bit down from the gas because I noted that maybe I can spend some time with the family, read some books, sharpen myself a little bit, and that is perfectly fine. Just a part of a trader's or an investor's life. So, what I want to do today is I want to talk a little bit about the markets. I want to talk about open positions, a bit about my ideas, and my plan to continue from here on. So, here we go. This is the Bitcoin chart, and as you can see, Bitcoin is creating kind of a bear flag. Sorry, this is kind of a bear flag. Now I know I had as well this line from here, which was kind of the potential um, channel. Okay, and yeah, we're still within the channel. Now again, technical analysis in this sort is not something that means that you can it doesn't determine anything, right? These lines are just here to help me kind of make sense of what the chart might do, okay? And I told you, as long as we're within this channel, I think we can continue down. And of course, we're creating kind of a bear flag here, which can break down below here, breaking below this bear flag, below 85 and below this kind of low 82, can lead to going all the way to the $70,000, all right? It can happen. On the other hand, breaking from it higher and sideways can mean that we're actually breaking out this potential channel range, and maybe we are not as bearish as might be if we continue within this channel, okay? Does it mean that I know where the market is going to go? I have zero idea where the market is going to go, but I can tell you that as long as Bitcoin is relaxing, and if it can go sideways, for example, just like this, I know that things can pump. Altcoins can move, right? Individual altcoins. I'm not talking about market whole, all right? I'm talking about individual altcoins can move. Actually, some of the best moves happen usually at a sideways market of Bitcoin, okay? So this is one of the possibilities. It's a good potential, but of course, you can have something like this, boom and boom and boom and back down, and we're in a bit, and this means we're in a bear market within a channel within a bear market. We can go up and down from the channel, but eventually, mean reversion will take us back to the channel. Might be okay, and of course, actually, we can get some sort of push and pump, and then sideways, and then push to new highs, and that is another possibility. Now, within these three possibilities, bullish scenario, sideways scenario, or bear scenarios, you have many ways that can happen, all right? So TA is just helping me to navigate what's happening immediately and in the short term-ish, potentially in the midterm, okay? So that's what I'm looking at. Bitcoin is in that range. We might end the range here and we might break down. If we do break down below, this bear flag and within this channel, so all the longs that we have, which is ALC8, which is already hurting a bit, and ZKJ, which is, not at a huge profit, will be breaking down. They won't move because these types of moves, they need the market, um, wind tail, let's call it, right? The sales need wind to it to move because these are shit coins, okay? So without the wind, there's a high probability of failure. That's why I'm tightening. And I'm going to talk about the positions in a second, but that's why I'm tightening the um, stop losses, okay? So that's on Bitcoin. Anything can happen right now. By the way, if you are noticing a new um, volume indicator, it's correct. This is the aggregated volume of many exchanges. So I like it a bit better than what I used to do because the other volume indicator would show me only on the specific exchange I'm looking at any given moment. But to get a real glance of volume, you need the entirety of the volume. And this is giving me a better kind of standpoint. I have OKX, BitGet, BitBuy, Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, and all the big ones over here. So I like it. Okay. What about ETH for just 1 second? Nothing, bear flag, if we continue down, this is going to continue down so we might go short, sooner than later. Cast is can't muster, even slight momentum to go above over here. Probably going to break down. BNB, maybe continue up. Look, it all depends. It really depends on how Bitcoin will act. Let's take a look at Sol. The thing is, this is a bird's market, right? It's a bird's market. Very hard to make money, and if you make money, it's just like birds. They eat a little bit. So you make 0.5% of your account here, 1% here, lose here, 2%. It's like birds. You don't make a lot of money in this environment, and that's the way it is. Okay, XRP looking like a big head and shoulders, like it will break down. you know, I'm not seeing a lot of huge evidence for a momentum in the market. The reality is the market isn't at momentum. So we took this trade, moved the stop already to broke even, took profits into strength. If this will stop me out, minimal, money. But again, I made money here. I will make some money here a little bit, made a little bit of money here. Yeah, I got stopped out at below break evens actually, so it wasn't really profitable, just kind of break even. Ultima stopped out, Plum, I made money on this move over here from this breakout actually, only from the second one. So I took a little bit of money. So every now and then, this month isn't a big month whatsoever, but it is a profitable month. So Plum, I'm looking at for potential move up. If it does move up, that would be nice. Not waiting on it because Bitcoin is looking like it's still within a channel, still within, what we talked about. But Plum, interesting. IP, interesting, potentially creating some sort of a VCP, maybe horizontal resistance here. So above the 672, maybe I will enter it if it will look like, but probably this is gonna stop. This is probably gonna break down. So maybe I actually short it. Can happen as well. Let's see if I do this. So yeah, anyway, below this area can be a short. Let's continue looking at it. Tone is interesting here. Tone is creating a V-bottom recovery out of nowhere. You can see it had a platform, drop, bounce, platform, and potential break above this area. So above, the $4 can be a potential trade. Can be a potential trade above $4. Potential. Okay, so I'm looking at it. Layer, and nothing too much over here to look at. And basically that's what I'm seeing, right? So look, Um, I, I saw some movement yesterday. I'm going to show this. In meme coins. I moved I moved so meme coins got some love. Look, nothing is really changing, right? Yes, some things are getting love because I got questions yesterday about, oh, meme coins are looking good. Why? I mean, okay, I don't know, maybe they moved a little bit yesterday, not too much. What about the big moves from today? Is this a real character change? It's made 100%, but it's gonna be short covering, and this is demolished. This is demolished. Okay, remember what I do. What I do, okay, is I buy usually continuation trades either to the long side or to the short side. So I don't pick the turn exactly. I don't know when it will move from a downtrend to an uptrend or from an uptrend to a downtrend. That's turn pickers. I don't do that. I do continuations. So after a potential trend has shifted, I look for entries, usually from VCP, volatility contraction areas, horizontal resistance if I can, some trends line, if it's for pennants and so on and so forth. For me now, I'm not seeing things that, are conducive for my edge to the long or to the short side too much. Maybe I need to do some work and will do some work to find some opportunities, but I'm not finding right now anything too good. What's this burger one? Yeah, burger. Burger was a potential for the short side, you know, because it was looking kind of like, yeah, man. I saw this candle over here and I was looking for a potential entry, but I missed it. I even think I had like an alert on this. You can see I have alerts on many things and I don't engage with them. Probably just wishful thinking on burger. This is Badger. So Badger I had, not burger. Yeah, so my mistake. I didn't have any alerts on it, but I saw it, and I wanted to maybe put this on my radar, but I didn't. So my bad. So you can see right now the downside is actually more dominant than the upside, at least today. Okay, today I actually, oof, sats. Look at sats. This was a trade I was looking for here for a potential short. All right, we got stopped out over here. Then it continued. It made a huge move up, and look, it crumbled, crumbled. So look, I was just early on the trade. I was just early on the short, and actually, this was kind of a funky short, I'll be honest. This was odd, very odd. So the idea was interesting, but they couldn't really be executed well. Okay, so but it's interesting to see. It get melted, melted. Which movie is that from? Put that in the comment section. I'm melting. Where was it from? I don't remember. I don't remember. Maybe you guys remember. Yeah. Anyways, this is this got some love. Let's put an alert just for the sake of it. What about Bybit? Just going randomly safe. In the morning it was 10%, so safe is getting some love. But you can see not from a setup standpoint. There is zero setup on these coins. Nothing. It's just movement. This is just randomness, right? There is a thing called randomness in trading. Most things are random. That's why you need an edge to trade, because when most things are random, you need something to help you avoid randomness. Okay. Oh, I see that these coins are out of the question. Yeah, we don't have any. Oh, fuck. Rug pulls here. Yeah. What about KuCoin? Why isn't my ZKJ getting 20% instead of ZKF? Ooh, gold, 70%. Yeah, the saddest one. Interesting one. Yeah, nothing interesting. Look, there's nothing too interesting in the market. Look, you're seeing it with me, all right? It's very apparent that there are almost zero setups, right? And the, hickey peaky just market, being the market right now. What I'm seeing is that potentially we're in a bear flag for Bitcoin. Potentially we're going to break down from it, and potentially we'll need some shorts or be just, out of trades. Okay. Now, if we do out of nowhere get, love, we can get some long trades. Okay. And that's where we are right now in this market, right? Potentially we're in a bear market that is going to continue down within that channel and have bear flags and down and bear flags and down. Yes, potentially that's where we are now, or maybe sideways. I'm not seeing anything that can push us up strong right now, so it's either sideways or down, at least in my opinion. But again, with new information and with new price action, I will update my views and of course my actions. Hope this helps. Until next time, no edge, no trade. Cheers, everybody.